Is this what Trump tweeted about
Yeah.
the conspiracy theory?
Yeah, the conspiracy theory of this 75-year-old man who, got pushed down by the police, and now Trump's saying he's with Antifa.
Was he working with QAnon? That's what I need to know. If QAnon's involved, my ears are perked.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, like, there's legit like right wing memes and like play by plays of like this is a crisis actor, or this is a longtime agitator. And Trump is with his platform, he's giving this win. And that's always been kind of the argument against the way he uses his Twitter account, is that he's able to embellish and embolden the wrong focus of any given conversation. In this case, saying that this guy deserved to be pushed down, and that he was essentially there to create a crisis that's been manufactured by the media, and then he gets to go back to reasserting his stance of like, I'm constantly under attack.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, I know we've gotten a lot of messages from all the stories we cover, and you'd be amazed because I watch every comment you guys leave. I read them. The amount of people in the last, 2 weeks that have been like, oh, yeah, any story that, some person with the media gets attacked, they're all made up. They put themselves there. They this, they that, this other thing. It's very QAnon. It's very funny to me because I think on one end, you're talking about Trump. This is a reason for Trump people take. I think for the most part, if people that are already going down the line that watch that video and don't have, there's really only one correct response when you watch a video of a 75-year-old man get pushed down on the ground and the police not do anything. And that is, holy shit, our police are out of control. Any other response, especially a response saying the guy staged it by walking up to cops peacefully, trying to hand them back their own helmet. And then he also, ahead of time, got all the police to not help him when he was bleeding from a blood pack, a tomato pack in the back of his head. So the people that are already down that route, to me, they don't need Trump. If Trump had not responded to that, they would be saying, we know it's true, definitely a conspiracy. Trump says it, they say, no, we definitely know it's true, it's definitely a conspiracy. The outcome's the same. They're all, frankly, a bit insane. To reach that conclusion. Again, it's how humanity is. There's always a few people that just can't handle the obvious truth of the situation, or they're too invested in an outcome that politically goes against them, that they'll just, nothing happened. It was all a plan. And it goes to before what I talk about with people that do believe in conspiracy theories like this. It's actually really sad because they can't accept reality.
Yeah.
That they would, the truth of the matter is, when a lot of these conspiracy theories happen, again, conspiracy theory can be true or false. I'm not saying anything about the concept. But in cases like this, it's easier to say that it was staged, because if it's real, then the world's scarier and they can't handle that.
So here's what I got to say to this. You have the president of the United States who constantly keeps on shooting himself in the foot. I mean, at this point, I would be somewhat surprised if Biden did lose to Trump, because you have a sitting president right now basically saying that a 75-year-old man, a senior citizen, is somehow part of this group, Antifa, Antifa, and it's all part of this big strategy plan to somehow defund the cops because this 75-year-old man was knocked down. He had a pack of ketchups in the back of his head. Like, really? No. I mean, but the leader of the free world, quote unquote, is doing this. He's targeting somebody who is powerless right now and probably in a hospital right now. So his master plan was, okay, get knocked out and then get admitted to the hospital and then pay the ridiculous fees of the American healthcare system. Brilliant move to take down Trump. Really? We try to avoid talking about Trump as much as possible because it's an easy story to talk about. But my God, how low do you have to go, Trump? I'm surprised that you keep setting the bar lower and lower for yourself. And it just goes to show you that, even some of his most diehard supporters, anything that Trump says is like the will of God almost. And it's it's getting ridiculous at this point. And, it's just going to help quicken the United States, basically, the United States is going to continue to lose its reputation. So the thing that must be asked is, we as citizens, as people, must demand more from our political class, because, it's just not Trump. There's many people within the United States Senate and Congress that do the exact same thing, that have this ego, but they have that neoliberal mask on. Take the mask off and you realize that a lot of these politicians are all the same, and they're quick to blame somebody that's going to ruin their system, their power. Donald Trump, he's somebody that's an egomaniac. He's someone who doesn't care about the people. He's someone who only cares about himself. And at the end of the day, we didn't get Trump by accident, but now that we have him, this is the guy who's basically blaming one of his own citizens for something that they probably have no connection to at all. In fact, it's probably a 100% guarantee that this senior citizen, who's probably right now paying off his medical bills.
It sounds like it was just some old guy trying to actually help the police and give them back a helmet they dropped.
Yeah. Just an old dude, gave back that helmet, and what does he get? Oh, lethal force. Pushback. Boom. Head cracked open.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to, Trump is very much in a war of information about what people are perceiving, and asserting that, the police are right in their jackboot, conduct, anywhere, basically focusing on this one situation, discounting all the other incidences of police brutality amidst these protests. I mean, like, the police in Seattle were gassing people. He's not tweeting about that. He's tweeting about this. We know that Trump's an egomaniac. We know that, this element runs deep in our country. We know that has the nuclear launch codes, so that's in charge of that. That's kind of spooky. I think that that's why there's elements in the Democratic Party that is run by, like, very fundamental KKK people themselves, but they see that with the kind of cynicism of, like, that's why we need Biden to suck up some of the vote that won't go as hard as, like, what Trump is doing. Now, I think that's very cynical. I think that what Bernie Sanders was attempting to do was bring out these conversations on the forefront from the bottom up, and that was a bit too discombobulating to the forces that keep workers divided. And Trump feeding into this is, again, just asserting the side of the police, the side of violence, as having the right of way, and that's why he's elected president. I mean, and there's going to be millions of people that are going to vote for him again.
That's a fair point to bring up. Well done, Jose.